After only about a month of building, my custom LEGO Boeing Pan Am 707-120 is finally complete. This jet-age aircraft uses an estimated 5,000 LEGO bricks. The 707 was the first aircraft in the 700 Boeing family. My model measures roughly 3 feet in length and roughly 3.5 feet in wingspan. With the introduction of the 707 in 1959 and later the DC-8, piston-powered aircraft became obsolete. The nose on this aircraft is basically identical to the 737 and 727, except for a slightly taller lobe to accommodate more luggage. With the introduction of the 707 and later DC-8, air travel was opened up to many more people. Air travel suddenly became faster, more economic, and a lot more comfortable than it ever was before. The 707 was the epitome of the jet age. The 707 was mounted with 4 JT3C jet engines mounted in pods under the wings. Later models of the 707 would be equipped with the JT3D turbofan low bypass engines. A few notable airlines that decided to go with the 707 were Pan Am, United, Qantas, American Airlines, and BOAC, which decided to go with the 707 over their own de Havilland Comet. This airplane uses a large amount of metallic silver LEGO bricks to get a very shiny look on the wings and engines. Though the 707 is certainly not the largest aircraft in the world, it does command a certain amount of size, especially when placed next to a couple of minifigures. You can certainly see how large this plane would have been compared to the piston-engined aircraft of the day. This model has fully functioning aircraft doors, both in the front and in the rear of the aircraft, that function exactly like my others. Just like the real aircraft, my plane has fully functioning Fowler flaps that can slide in and out of the wing and be deployed when drag is needed to be added in order to slow down the plane for takeoff or landing. Flaps are always a feature I try to include on all my passenger planes at one point or another. In order to facilitate travel and of course access the interior, the tail can be removed as one individual section from the body. Then off comes the main roof segment, which can be removed as one entire individual piece. Now that the upper half of the aircraft has been removed, you can see the fully detailed interior that's on the inside of the 707. When you walk in, the first thing you see is a lavatory in the front of the airplane. Of course the door can open. Right next to the lavatory is the cockpit. Once you open the cockpit door, you can see everything that's going on in there. To the right, you can see the flight engineer, and then of course at the very front of the aircraft you have the pilot and co-pilot. Right behind the lavatory, you have a small galley. I tried to include as much detail here, along with a little sink. On the other side, we have a small flight storage rack for passengers' luggage. Set a little further back is another completely functioning door that works just like the one in the front, and it even has the little sausage piece used as the door. It appears the pilot's giving a quick briefing to the passengers about the flight. Once the aircraft gets airborne, the flight attendant starts asking the passengers what they would like to drink. See, this one here is talking to the green ninja that happened to get on this flight. A few rows back, we can see a couple that may or may not be enjoying this flight right now. With all the open seats on this flight, you might have thought they would have canceled it, but in the very back there appears to be a chap there that's enjoying it just fine, even if he has the entire row to himself. And in the very back row, you have what either looks like a plumber or maybe a handyman. All the blues and oranges on this plane were really representative of what would have been on passenger planes in the early 60s. Directly behind the handyman, we have 2 more lavatories with a sink and a small little toilet in the corner. And yes, the doors do function on both of these as well. Now that we've reached the very back of the aircraft, you can see a much larger galley with some sinks and of course some storage compartments up towards the front there. And of course we couldn't forget our little beverage carts there that are stowed away nicely right under the sink. Of course this airplane has a fully functional undercarriage. The nose gear folds down and forward and tilts to fit into the compartment. This is a small compromise from the real plane, which did not rotate its main gears upon being retracted. the main landing gear fold down and into the wing, and then have a couple of doors come on top of them. I tried to make this as accurate as I could with the real 707. This has been a really fun project. This plane should go very well with the 727 and 737. My next project is a 747, and I'll see you there with those videos, and bye for now.